This is a tale of the trenches, told when the shadows creep over the bay and traverse, and poppies fall asleep, and men stand still to their rifles, and star shells riot and flare, flung from the sandbagged alleys into the ghostly air. They see in the growing grasses that rise from the beaten zone their poor forgotten comrades, wasted in skin and bone. And the grass grows silently o'er them, where comrade and foe are blent in God's own peaceful churchyard, when the fire of their might is spent. But the men who stand to their rifles see all the dead of the plain rise at the hour of midnight to fight their battles again, each to his place in the combat, all to the parts they played, with bayonet brisk to its purpose, rifle and hand grenade. And shadow races with shadow, and steel comes quick on steel, swords that are deadly silent, and shadows that do not feel. And shades recoil and recover, and fade away as they fall. In the space between the trenches, and the watchers see it all. The justice of a cause that seeks to attain its end by the murder and maiming of mankind is apt to be doubted by a man who has come through a bayonet charge. The dead lying on the fields seem to ask, why has this been done to us? Why have you done it, brothers? What purpose has it served? We marched out of the village of Lebrebi at nightfall. The moon, waning slightly now at one of our corners, was shining bright on the eastern sky. And directly underneath it, and behind the German lines, a burning mine sent a flame, salmon pink and wreathed in smoke, high into the night sky. Our company was sadly thinned now. It had cast off many, so many young men had Quinchy, Givenchy, and Vermel. We marched through a world of slag heaps and chimney stacks. The moonlight streaming along the sides of the former like mist, and the smoke rising above the latter as straight as the chimneys themselves. Our way lay uphill, and when we got to the top, the full night of battle opened up before us. We saw the shells bursting up by Souchez, The rifle flashes at Vermel, the long thin searchlights over Linz, and the star shell, red, green, and electric white, rioting in a blaze of colour above the decay, death, and pity of the firing line. We heard the dull thud of shells bursting in the field, and the sharp explosions when they landed amidst the masonry in the abandoned villages. The road along which we marched was lined with houses, all in varying stages of destruction. Some had merely a few tiles shot out, and more were levelled altogether. Some were still peopled. I saw a woman putting up shutters, and small children drinking coffee from tin mugs near the door. The garret on that house was blown in, and the rafters stuck up above the tiles like long, accusing fingers. Cats crooned their love songs from the rooftops. It's funny, but in the abandoned villages, the people all gone and laughter dead, you'd often see stray dogs and love-making cats. Cats raised their instinctive primordial yowl in villages being raked by artillery fire. And poor lonely dogs often sang to the moon, and their plaint was full of longing. The night was still, and the air was keen, tense with menace. The time crawled by. In front was the town, and its homes were seen, blurred in outline against the sky. The dead leaves float on the sighing air. The darkness moves like a curtain drawn, a veil which the morning sun will tear from the face of death. We charge at dawn.